We are proud to introduce EcoPact, the industry's broadest range of green concrete for high-performing, sustainable and circular construction. Building on the success of EcoPact, which we have already launched in Switzerland, Germany and France, we are now rolling it out across the Americas.
Welcome back at Moldova Business Week event. My name is Elena Olenik-Slivinsky, working at Invest Moldova agency. And I will start by quoting Margaret Thatcher. "You and I come by road or rail, but economists travel on infrastructure." Indeed, smart businesses are not interested any longer just in low labor costs. Digitalization, telecommunication, big data, capital markets, education and regulation become critical for sustainable growth and impact investment. From now on, we are moving towards a more targeted part of a day, where you are about to hear new opportunities to get hold of now. So let's move closer to targeting specific projects. You are invited to be part of our first pitching panel, during which representatives of key state institutions like Regional Development Agency Center, Chisinau City Hall, Organization for Small and Medium Enterprises Sector Development, and Public Property Agency are about to present to you the key projects of infrastructure that you can get hold of now. Regional development initiatives, investment projects located in the heart of Moldova, its capital Chisinau, 18 multifunctional industrial platforms spread out throughout the entire country, and the most attractive public property assets that are exposed for privatization. This is the information you are about to receive now. The investment projects that will be presented to you are aligned with the Moldovan 2030 development agenda, which in turn aims to reach the world's action plan towards achieving Sustainable Development Goal number 9, that is, building resilient infrastructure, promoting inclusive industrialization, and fostering innovation in order to achieve long-term economic growth. Before we go into content, I would like to present to you Ms. Irina Morar, Project Manager from Regional Development Agency Center, that will present to you key infrastructure projects that are available currently in the Ministry of Agriculture, Regional Development and Environment. Ms. Irina, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your invitation at a quite important event regarding the development of business, regarding development of infrastructure in the Republic of Moldova. Today I'm going to share with you the main investment projects which are implemented by the agencies of Republic of Moldova, and here I mean the North, Center and South Regional Development Agency, projects which are financed by the Ministry of Agriculture, Regional Development and Environment. So the today portfolio consists of projects connected to business infrastructure as well as water supply projects, which are implemented in North, Center and South region. And I'm going to start with the projects implemented in the North region of Republic of Moldova, projects which are implemented by my colleagues from the North region. The first project is the creation of the Belts Municipality Center of Innovation and Technology Transfer, which is a quite important project, a modern one, which is aimed as to ensure the necessary development space which equals to over 6,000 square meters, and has as beneficiaries the young researchers, the students from the Aleco Rousseau University in Belts, at least 10 startup businesses from the North region, as well as other researchers. And it's a project which equals to a budget over 20 million lei. The next important project in the North region is the wholesale market in Rishkan district, which is aimed to ensure a necessary space and to arrangement all the necessary works and constructions as to make available for the local producers of vegetables and fruits in the North region to develop their businesses and to come as more possible visible in all the country and of course abroad. It's a project which has a value over 20 million lei. The last project in the North region is called construction of the Nord Expo Exhibition Center in the Belts municipality. It's a quite big project which is aimed to ensure a multifunctional pavilion with an overall area of 300 square meters, with an outdoor display area, with a car parking which is quite large, with a capacity of 300 cars, and which is quite important to mention here that the beneficiaries of this project are not only Moldovan one, but also from the Iași, Suceava and Botoșani counties, as well as Ukraine, and it has an overall budget of 23 million lei. The next projects to be shared by me are from the Central region, projects implemented by the agency I'm representing today, Center Agency, which has in its portfolio 2 projects which are going to be implemented in Călărași, Nisporeni districts. These projects are aimed to increase and to support the competitiveness in these 2 districts in order to develop a development space and also the connected infrastructure necessary to develop the businesses in these 2 districts. The main indicators of this project is 5 kilometers of electrical networks, 1 kilometer of aqueduct, 1 kilometer of sanitation facilities, and all beneficiaries are not only from the 2 districts but from the all Central region, and the budget necessary for implementing this project is over 27 million lei. And the next project in the Central region is connected to developing the public institution Rezina Business Incubator as to support the young entrepreneurs, which is quite important in our country and Central region as well. The main indicator of the project is to renovate 20 spaces fully equipped and furnished as to create a necessary development space for over 30 young people from Rezina district. Here we mean 30 young businesses, and the budget of this project is over 10 million lei. The next portfolio projects are connected to the South region, and these projects are from another field, water supply and sanitation field, a very important public service for all the beneficiaries of our country. The first project is improving the public water supply services in Pelina and other localities from Cahul district, and it has a long list of indicators which are quite important. The main one is a main transmission pipe with a total length of over 46 kilometers, an internal water distribution network over 60 kilometers, 2 drinking water pumping stations, 7 water disinfection plants, and our indicator like water castles and ground tanks. It's quite important to mention the beneficiaries of this project. It has over 22,000 beneficiaries from the south region of Republic of Moldova, and the overall budget of the project is 185 million lei. The next water supply project in the south region is in Cahul district. The main indicators for this project are over 61 main transmission pipe. It's a water supply project, a very important one, which is aimed to supply over 15 localities from the south region, and the overall budget of this project is 64 million lei. These are the main infrastructure projects implemented through the national budget fund aimed to develop the regions, to increase all the business infrastructure as well as water supply services for all the beneficiaries. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Morar, for presenting us the Ministry's development-oriented initiatives that are obviously aimed to increasing the number of jobs for citizens and to augment the regional competitiveness. I have a question to ask you. Please tell us what are the main water supply infrastructure development projects that are planned to be implemented by the Ministry maybe in the next 4 years?
Just to mention, a very important fact is the agencies are not implementing only projects financed by the National Fund. We are also implementing projects financed by our external partners. And here it's important to mention that Republic of Moldova has 8 water supply projects financed by European Union, projects which are implemented in all 3 regions, North, Center and South, by the local agencies, development agencies, and also a quite important project which began this autumn. It's a project financed by the German government through KfW Bank. It's a project of national importance, which is aimed to build the main transmission pipe, Chișinău-Strășeni-Călăraș, with an overall length of 52 kilometers. And the beneficiaries of this project will be all the district Strășeni and Călăraș inhabitants.
Thank you. And what project of infrastructure do you intend to implement in order to stimulate the country's economic development?
National Fund for Regional Development is financing at the moment 3 fields of infrastructure projects. This year began a new call of proposal where the local public authorities are eligible to come with a proposal of new project concepts which are connected to business infrastructure, to promotion of the potential tourism in Moldova, as well as water supply and sanitation projects.
Thank you very much, Ms.
Thank you.
And now I would like to introduce our next speaker. Please meet Mr. Ion Ceban, General Mayor of Chișinău Municipality, that will present the key investment projects available in Chișinău Mayorship. Mr. Ceban, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to welcome you on behalf of Chișinău Municipality and then as citizen. I would say that one thing is missing in the last presentation is Chișinău Development Agency, Regional Development Agency for Chișinău, and we are working on that, and I hope we're going to do it in the next future. We have a lot of projects, by the way, and unfortunately we couldn't do it before, but I hope in 2021 we'll do it. So, coming back to the public-private partnership projects, Chișinău City, you mentioned just several of them, but we have a lot. I'll focus on 3 main projects that were approved as a concept during September by the municipal council. So Chisinau is the capital city. It's about 700,000 people within the city, and in the metropolitan area it's about 820. Then, as I said already, so there was a decision by the municipal council approved the initiation of the procedure for promoting and launching the investment project proposed for implementation through a public-private partnership. Okay, is it better like that? Okay, should just tell me. Okay, so by public-private partnership projects in Chisinau city, we selected several just to put them on agenda. It's about e-ticketing in public transport systems. So now we have on the line about 321 units of trolley buses. It's 285 kilometers of network, and there are 23 urban lines and then 7 suburban, and at least in 2019, so we had 145 million passengers with a ratio of about 500,000 passengers per day. So that's what we have on the line. What about the buses? So there are 104 units of buses, 5 urban lines, and then 18 suburban. All around 70 million people in 2019, and about 50,000 people, passengers per day. Also, we have minibuses, private. There are about 522 units. In different times, so it varies because of economic conditions and so on and so on. And now it's about pandemic, and there is also a specific situation. So we have 20 urban line and then 23 suburban. So what about e-ticketing in public transport? So we have a current tariff system, like the price for a trolleybus ride is 2 leys, so that's quite cheap. And the bus and minibus 3 leys, and in the city there is a 0.15 lei for 1 kilometer. So just to make an impression, it's 0.1 euro if we speak about the trolleybus, and 0.15 euro if we speak about buses. But we are still discussing on the issue to renew all the parks, all the trolleybuses and buses in Chisinau. Then we can say we can revise the tariff policy within that procedure. So monthly tickets are not attractive to passengers and are used mostly by the students, and the ticket enforcement in trolleybuses and buses is performed only by transport inspection staff. So we had a lot of meetings with different people, and now we have the concept approved, and we are going on with a study on the feasibility study for the implementation of electronic taxation. So there was a study done in 2014, and that's going to be updated and presented for approval in the near future to the municipal council, which is a legislative body of the Chisinau City Hall. So based on this feasibility study, the tender for identifying the private partner for PPP will be launched. Paid parking facilities. So another project is very important to Chisinau municipality, is connected to the parking system. So we have at least several options. So we have already a concept published on our website. And if just to summarize, it looks for multi-storied parking buildings, like more different car facilities, car parking facilities, only with a large commercial real estate or transport development projects right now. There are several commercial entities like Moldova, Chisinau Airport, and so on. And through this public-private partnership, in which the municipality offers the land and the private partner builds and operates the parking lot, keeping his income from parking. That's an option. These projects are feasible only in areas with major attraction and maximum demand for parking. Paid parking projects for Chisinau city. So we are looking forward for mechanical car parkings that are modular multi-story metal structures equipped with a lift and automatic car parking system, which do not require capital reconstruction. So depending on how the parking lots are organized and the number of places, which can vary from 4 to 400 and more, where there are no 10 parked cars and 30 to 60 parking lots can be located. So we have an experiment right now with the Technical University of Moldova, and now we are discussing with Agency for Public Property just to identify the lots in Chisinau. We can do more and more projects of this type, so I hope we will start with the next year, so everybody is open to come on the board and help us with a good economic and business project finally. So paid parking project on street. So here we are at the beginning. So we are now identifying all the lots. So we have to finish the feasibility study. We hope to do it by the February next year. And then we'll start communicating our strategy. And we hope we can have partners here as well. So the car parks arranged on the right lane of the road in parallel with the direction of the traffic and expenses of the traffic lane that can be created on most streets, especially in the historic center as well as on the main areas of the city. I thought this kind of parking will be provided by the municipality, and the management and enforcement of parking spots can be offered in different conditions to different private operators. Street lighting project in Chisinau city. So now we are discussing with Agency for Energy Efficiency, then to UNDP and to many other partners that we can start a pilot project in the Chisinau. That would start with 31 of August street that we're gonna rebuild in starting next year, and finishing with Viaduct and Dacia is the biggest boulevard of Chisinau, coming from airport and making it like a visit card for Chisinau. Well, finally, so it's a concept that was already approved at the level of intention, but not at the level of the partner. So the current situation is that they have a high energy consumption, so up to 85%. Technically, absolute lamps with high energy consumption, and then 15% modern LED lamps with no control, no management, no intelligent management. So as I said, so absolute street lighting management system, lack of control on street lamp level, and lack of smart energy efficient scenarios and models. Main power distribution points, so we have about 669 power distribution points and 98 about to be commissioned. So what are our needs in that sense? Up-to-date automation, then remote control and monitoring, and prevent energy losses and electricity that's within the networks. Online data acquisition from smart meters, and quality control and smart settings. And our scope is to reduce energy costs, so it's everything connected to energy efficiency, then full automation of all main distribution points, and the replacement of the wall lamps with controllable LED street lights. And of course, creating digital infrastructure for smart and green city. So that is, as you said, we have 20 minutes both for the questions and the presentation. So I'm yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chiban. Thank you for information and for allowing us to dive into how will Chisinau look like in the near future after being innovated and modernized to modern international standards. Although competition for public and private initiatives is very fierce, I would like to ask you a question. What are the major impediments in carrying out municipal projects?
Well, it's every time about bureaucracy, especially if we speak about former Soviet Union countries. Then it's about corruption. Then it's about unclear rules. On all these issues, we are working right now, and I have to say that so my real personal objective is to make from an institution that was qualified 2-3 years ago as the most corrupt in the country to become the most transparent institution in the country in the very near future. And what I feel that the bureaucracy in all manifestation, lack of digitalized documentation processes, and not only documentation, in general, everything connected to services, slow speed of processing tasks, lack of qualified personnel, experts required for specific projects, bias of delayed and mismanagement projects. And then, of course, what is specific not only for our country is political connotations appearing in different issues in the municipal council as a legislative body. And I think that when we say about the concrete projects, so it shouldn't be there. To my lucky, I would say that I even thought if it was very difficult, so we solved a lot of issues and problems during the 2020, and I hope we can manage it not depending on political issue of each and of each, I don't know, faction and so on and so on. So, a very specific deterrent for Chisinau is absence of coordination mechanism among all municipal actors. So we still have, for example, those who are building roads or rehabilitate different kind of projects, just not coordinate with other entities and so on. But on all these issues we are working right now, and I know that we're gonna succeed. So less bureaucracy, no corruption, transparent and clear rules, and we're gonna assure it for Chisinau and for those who wanna invest in Chisinau.
Thank you for your detailed answer. We have a question received from our audience. Please tell us, what actions do you intend to carry out in the next coming years in order to ensure a sustainable development of the municipality?
Well, so right now we are working on the strategy, development strategy for Chisinau. We are doing that with some of Moscow agencies. We had on the board Bucharest teams for updating the urban plan for Chisinau. You know, it's an old one from 2007 and totally not workable. So together with that, I think we're starting with 2021, we will manage to make a big team working on the upgrading that plan, new urban plan for Chisinau, together with the mobility plan, together with the development of historic zone and tourism attractions, and of course, it's all connected to what are working now on my mates, Deputy Mayors Inga Ionescu and others. It's investment map for Chisinau with all the investment profiles for different sectors and so on and so on. So, of course, every city, and Chisinau is not an exception in this respect, in powerhouse of the economic growth. So, economic growth is dependent on the favorable conditions such as predictable rules, for example, adequate infrastructure, of course, services and goods, and of course, good enough living environment. So if you look around any of you can easily see that in order for us to create conditions for people and business to develop, so the municipality and me as a mayor have to restore, but to a large extent to create a basic infrastructure. Unfortunately, as I call, I will not put the finger on somebody, but we had tens of years of demodernization, and I think we are on the right way right now. In the economic circuit, I want and I would say that the municipality to become a provider of services for citizen and business, a provider for possibilities and of course for different companies, it doesn't matter where they come from, is it local or foreign, to invest in long-term projects, so they should be a reliable partner for all sectors of real economy. So if just to conclude, we have to become attractive, taking into account all the above mentioned elements. So it's all about good roads, smart lighting, sufficient public transportation, green area, and of course clear, as I mentioned in the question before, clear rules for coming and for sure the security of investment here in Chisinau. So we're gonna do that definitely. I'd like to thank you and wish you good luck to everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Chaban.
Thank you.
Thank you for your detailed presentation and for this very good question and answer session. And now we are moving to our next speaker. Please allow me to present you Ms. Yulia Kostin, General Director of Organization for Small and Medium Enterprises Sector Development, that will present to us the large-scale national investment projects for which Moldovan government offered Green Corridor. Ms. Yulia Kostin, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Elena. Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear speakers and partners, I am very pleased to be here and participate on this important event for our country, Moldova Business Week, and I will emphasize new initiatives with ambitious aims, multifunctional industrial platforms. Moreover, this event itself is about opportunities, partnerships, and development. First of all, I would like to say that ODIM, as national organizations aiming to support SMEs development, has a very important role to stimulate new initiatives, to create efficient environment, to improve SMEs access to finance, to new markets, and to increase, very important, to increase SMEs competitiveness. It is a center that today our colleagues provide and detailed description about Moldova's economic framework and opportunities of investment. Therefore, I will just to emphasize that Moldova, we have signed a free trade agreement with 43 countries. What represented just a distance dream 20 years ago, but now it is a reality, and we are very happy. These economic-geographic factors represent big opportunities for fostering Moldovan economy. And now I would like to pass to the small and medium enterprise development, to small presentation, which will be in the animated way.
Enterprises account for almost 60% of employment and generate 50% of value added in the Eastern Partnership region. SMEs are engines of high-quality employment generation and sustainable growth, and can facilitate the shift towards more diversified economies in the Eastern Partnership. Creating an economy where SMEs can flourish is much like planting a tree. To have healthy roots, you need a level playing field founded on competition-friendly regulations, transparent and efficient commercial justice systems, as well as policies to promote integrity in the private sector. But the tree cannot bear fruit unless government nurtures it through well-designed and targeted policies that foster entrepreneurship. For example, governments should be responsive to SME needs and put in place coherent policies and regulations which stimulate entrepreneurship and allow entrepreneurs to easily enter and exit the market. They can also promote SME access to different sources of financing, so companies can expand their operations and modernize their equipment. A wide range of training and mentoring opportunities could be made available for future and existing entrepreneurs to upgrade their skills and competencies. Support for innovative SMEs can help to boost productivity and support knowledge-based economic growth. Governments can also take measures to ensure that SMEs can participate in public procurement and access international markets. These are the elements that enable businesses of all sizes to become more competitive and grow. To be effective, policies need to address the system and not just the individual parts. The Moldovan SME Development Organization, ODIM, has set up and broadened its support programs like PARE 1+1, Women and Youth in Business, and SME Greening to further develop the country's entrepreneurial potential. These are the keys to a well-functioning business environment and a vibrant SME sector.
Of course, this video saved my time, and you can see from this slide good evolution of the SME sector development in Republic of Moldova and the main pillars. I would like to mention, but this video represents part of the SMEs Policy Index assessment, which was done by international organizations as OECD, EBRD, and ITF. I would like just to summarize that the macro, small, and medium size enterprise in Moldova, they represent the majority of the businesses, and they are SME sector from Moldova represents more than 97% from all entrepreneurs and more than 70% from job creation. And we can see that this sector main drivers of economic development in the Republic of Moldova. On this slide, I just would like to mention that this is a policy index sector from Moldova, and this exercise was done in 2020. It's a pleasure to say that Moldova was recognized as a success story in Eastern Partnership countries. We have managed to get the best SMEs policy indicators in the different areas as regulatory framework, entrepreneurial skills development, women entrepreneurship, green economy, and others achievement which we can see at the slide. Also, an important fact is that Moldova is on the 48th position in the doing business scoring. A company should pass only 4 procedures in one day in one-stop shop to register business in Moldova. It's a good fact, and I am proud to say that Moldova is ahead of many Eastern European countries. Of course, the tremendous results were possible due to the continuous support from the government of Moldova. In terms of SMEs sector development, ODIM during the years, ODIM elaborated a lot of programs, different instruments to support business development. Currently, ODIM manages 12 national programs aimed to support SMEs at the different stages. Of course, I can discuss a lot about the SME sector in Moldova, about our achievements, but I think Elena will not be very happy. And finally, I reached my main presentation, the multifunctional industrial platforms. The creation of the multifunctional industrial platforms was adopted by governmental decision on October this year. Under this decision, we are going to create 18 multifunctional industrial platforms in regions. For these actions, government approved 200 million lei for 3 years. For 3 years implementation. The definition of based on definition, multifunctional industrial platform are delimited territory of the state endowed with the necessary industrial infrastructure that can bring together interconnected companies, thus encouraging innovation, technology transfer, and company growth. This will lead to job creation and social development. The main advantages of the multifunctional industrial platform are to promote entrepreneurship, to boost the SMEs' productivity, to facilitate regional development, to offer good spaces and facilities, and offer sustainable plots for business activities. I have to mention that in a few months we had a tough period to discuss, to elaborate all requirements, all regulation, to set up good procedures for step by step for platform development. And finally, I would like to present few of that platforms, and first is Glodeni. The land for industrial multifunctional platform in Glodeni is located outside the city of Glodeni. The greenfield area is 10 hectares. We have 10 hectares for platform development. The economy of this region focusing on most of all in agribusiness, textile and apparel, tobacco and others activities. As you see in that slide, the platform has favorable connections with national roads, rail, state, railway, easy connection to the neighborhood countries. Next platform is in Chimishlia. Also, this platform is located within the city and has an area of 10 hectares. Also, this district are very developed in agri-food, textile and apparel, furniture and beekeeping. Also, I would like to say that this platform has a good positioning to the Romanian and Ukrainian border, and this district is in the soft part of Moldova. And the next one is Ceadărlunga platform. Is located, this platform is again is next to the city and has 7.2 hectares of the land. It is greenfield type, and the economical areas in this region is agriculture, textile, footwear, and others. This platform also has a good an attractive location and be interesting position. But also I would like to mention that this region already working with a few international partners. So what is next? In order to accelerate development in the region, we will create of the infrastructure we are needed. We will create partnership and cooperate in the process of multi-functional industrial platform creation. We also will attract investment in creating a new developed and create new and developed existing businesses. We assist the investor to establish their businesses in Moldova. And this context, I would like to invite the investors if they want to grow the business. We encourage them to join our multifunctional industrial platforms. For more information about the international platform, you may always contact us. You are welcome. And this point, I would like to say thank you for attention.
Thank you very much, Ms. Kostin, for your information and for the institutional opening regarding new opportunities. We have a question raised by our online viewers. What type of entities do you foresee to cooperate for the development of a multifunctional industrial platforms?
Of course, creation of a multifunctional industrial platform is a very tough work and for long period. And in this exercise, we are going to involve a lot of partners. First of all, we can involve or must involve local public authorities, of course, central public authorities, business association, local entrepreneurs, and very important to involve academic and young generation. But also I would like to say that very important to identify the profile of each platforms. And this context, in this way, we are going to do very detailed analysis about economical development in this region, what kind of existing business they have, what the potential areas of development, or what is potential local potential, and of course what are the interest of foreign investment.
Thank you. Your answer leads me to another question. Is there any type of specific business activity regarding to be developed in the platforms?
At this time, we don't have some specific activities, but I said previously that we are going to identify for each platform some specialization, because we can say that platforms from north of Moldova and south is very different, because in both areas we identified different absolutely economical spheres, and we will take in consideration local economy and tendency.
Thank you very much, Ms. Kostin. And now we are moving to the last speaker of our pitching panel. I would like to pass the microphone to Ms. Olga Dobreva, Economic Diplomacy Coordinator from Invest Moldova Agency, that will present the key public property assets exposed for privatization. Olga, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Elena. Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear audience, my name is Olga Dobreva, and I represent the Invest Moldova Agency, the Investment Attraction Department. Being the one-stop shop for investors, the agency works with all stakeholders in activities related to investment attraction, including the Public Property Agency. In this context, it is my honor to be their representative today and present to you the state property privatization assets. The Public Property Agency is the central administrative authority subordinated to the government with mission to ensure the implementation of state policy in the field of administration and denationalization of public property. Agency founded 131 state-owned enterprises and owns the measure of shares in 78 companies. In terms of investment attraction, the Public Property Agency has the following missions: creation of public-private partnerships and concessions, and denationalization of state public property assets, and post-privatization monitoring. The object of privatization could be the following public property: stock of shares, social parts, state or municipal enterprises, and complexes of immovable assets and movable properties. Privatization is carried out in the following ways: trading on a regulated market or intermultilateral trading facility, sale through outcry auctions, and sale through commercial or investment competition, including on the basis of individual projects. The privatization of public property is carried out according to the following normative framework, which includes 1 law and 4 government decisions, which you can see right now on this slide. In 2020, as a result of open tendering held on August 5th, October 10th, and November 4th, 11 assets were sold by in total value of 17.7 million euros, including 5 real estate, 3 state-owned enterprises, 3 complexes of immovable assets. Currently, in the list of state-owned assets managed by the Public Property Agency are including 99 assets, 20 stocks of shares, 80 state-owned enterprises, 3 social parts, 45 complexes of immovable assets, and 15 real estate. On this slide, you can see the list of 16 state-owned assets subject to privatization, but today I would like to bring to your attention just 3 of them. The first one is the Chisinau glass factory, which is the biggest in the glass-making sector of Moldova. Founded in 1917, the Chisinau glass factory represents one of the absolute leaders on the internal Moldavian market and one of the most confident partners on the international market. Currently, the portfolio of Chisinau glass factory includes approximately 300 different types of jars and bottles. The enterprise employs 434 persons and has premises area around 75,400 square meters in Chisinau city. The joint stock is up to 20.6 million euros with 100% state ownership. The total income in 2019 was around 16.6 million euros, with net profit around 704,000 euros. I'm sorry. On this slide, you can see the countries, the enterprise export production to the following countries, such as Armenia, Azerbaijan, Belarus, Bulgaria, Germany, Georgia, Israel, Kazakhstan, Lithuania, Poland, Romania, Russia, and others. The company has earned a reputation as a reliable partner based on the following qualities: the constant quality of the manufactured products according to all national and world standards, the possibility to provide customers with both small and large batches of the manufactured production, the wide assortment of production and its flexibility, and strict observance of the delivery conditions. All these ingredients allow the factory to export to all these countries. The second object which I would like to present to your attention is the factory Metalferos, which has been active since April 9th, 1951. In 1995, the state enterprise Metalferos was reorganized in the joint stock company for the acquisition, processing, and marketing of the ferrous and non-ferrous metal waste. Metalferos is an open-type company, mixed ownership type. The main activity of the entity is the collection, transportation, and export of ferrous and non-ferrous metal waste. The enterprise employs 332 persons, and joint stock is circa 180,000 euros with 78.28 state ownership. In 2019, the factory's total income was around 62.5 million euros with net profit more than 1.1 million euro. The third object which I would like to present to you, the Sanatorium Moldova, which since 2018 is subordinated to the Public Property Agency and is exposed to privatization through commercial auction. The auctions are organized periodically by the agency in accordance with regulation on commercial or investment auctions for privatization of public property. Located in Truskavets, Lviv Oblast in Ukraine, represent a complex for diagnosis and medical recreation, restoring and strengthening health. It's a diagnostic treatment building with a series of spaces for the medical examination with accommodation of 350 beds. Founded in 1984, the enterprise employs 38 persons, has premises area more than 50,400 square meters, and land area around 4.1 hectares. Working capital is up to 1.2 million euros with 100% ownership. Just as a curiosity, the Moldova Sanatorium is a neighbor with a large global franchise, the Rixa Sungate Hotel. In 2018, the total income of the enterprise was around 2 million euro with net profit more than 28,000 euros. Additionally, the Invest Moldova agency is in the process of elaboration of the public property assets investors guides in order to provide the necessary information and facilitate the process of privatization of public property, which includes ways that public property assets will be exposed, eligibility criteria for participation, general conditions of participation, necessary documentation, terms of submitting, launch of the contest, the reception of tenders for participation in the competition, the ongoing process of the contest, and negotiation and contract signing. So it was the general information. If you have any additional question, please do not hesitate to contact us. On this slide, you can see the information with our contacts. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Ms. Dobreva, for your presentation. I have a question for you. When will be the next round of privatization?
The next round of privatization is scheduled for the first trimester of 2021.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elena.
After all of these fantastic presentations, we hope that the first pitching panel will foster multiple business linkages that will enable you to close an agreement and to have your decision to invest in Moldova. Please stay with us for our next pitching panel that will be dedicated to one of the key sectors of Moldovan economy, that is agri-food.
Lumea este în permanentă schimbare. La Premier Energy privim cu încredere spre viitor, învățăm lucruri noi și evoluăm pentru a aduce bunăstare și confort acasă, la serviciu, în societate. Suntem mereu alături pentru a oferi energie bună și servicii de calitate celor peste 900.000 de consumatori de energie electrică. Ne axăm pe inovație, oferind suport și soluții la distanță. Pentru a proteja mediul înconjurător, circa 85.000 de clienți deja au ales să primească factura prin e-mail. Peste 183.000 de clienți petrec mai mult timp liber cu familia, alegând să achite online facturile, prin internet, la bancomat sau terminale. Și pentru că ne dorim să-ți folosești eficient timpul, îți sugerăm să închei contractul la distanță și îți oferim orice consultanță online. Muncim ca să-ți aducem energia de care ai nevoie pentru a-ți împlini visurile, aproape de oameni. Premier Energy este furnizorul tău de încredere.
We are proud to introduce EcoPact, the industry's broadest range of green concrete for high-performing, sustainable and circular construction. Building on the success of EcoPact, which we have already launched in Switzerland, Germany and France, we are now rolling it out across the Americas.